Welcome to the Neutral Zone podcast. My name's Aid.
And my name's Keats.
And we're getting ready to celebrate the coming of June, Pride Month, baby.
Demon time.
Demon time?
I still feel like I'm in our last podcast right now.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the Neutral Zone podcast. My name's Aid.
And my name's Keats.
We're getting ready to celebrate May.
Yeah.
So in preparation to celebrate May, I got a joke for us, eh?
Okay, yeah.
What kind of bow can't be tied?
A bow tie.
A rainbow.
Oh, that was really stupid of me.
Hold on, maybe you'll get this one. This is the riddle for today.
Okay.
In fields of green I bloom with pride, my golden hues spread far and wide. A beacon of spring I stand tall and bright, a symbol of hope in morning's light. What am I?
Is it the sun?
No.
Okay, let me think. Is it like... What's tall and golden? I don't know, like... Lighthouse.
No. You want me to say it again?
In fields of green...
I bloom with pride, my golden hues spread far and wide.
I know what it is.
A beacon of spring, I stand tall and bright, a symbol of hope in morning's light. What
Sunflower.
No. You're so close. You're so very, very close. Sunflowers are more of like a summery fall flower. So something else that's yellow, but like you're seeing now.
Now, okay.
Like right now. Like if we go outside, we can see them in downtown Ann Arbor. No.
Is it a flower?
Yes.
Okay. Gardenia.
No, it's a really popular. You can see it. Like if we walk out of the neutral zone right now, you can see some.
Is it those like blowy ones? It's like
dandelions? No, but it does start with a D. You're getting so close.
Okay.
Let's see your flower
and it's
language.
Not daisies.
It's not daisies. It's not a dandelion. It's not sunflower.
It's yellow.
It's yellow.
Okay, cool. Is it like big or small?
It's a yay big. For audio listeners, love you to death. I'm holding about like a foot.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, wait. I can figure this out. Starts with the D, yellow, dandelion. Did I already guess that?
Yes.
Oh God. Okay. I guess Daisy.
It starts with a D.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're yellow and white.
Okay. That gave me okay. We could I can get this, okay? For everyone listening, I can get this. Trust me, I'm smart, okay? I'm in all AB classes. I just don't take flower class, okay? So the D, medium-sized, yellow, daffodil.
Yes.
Yay!
Daffodils are a very common early spring flower. We often see them at the end of April, start of May.
I don't even know what they look like.
They're the ones that are like
floppy.
Yeah,
they're so cute.
They're everywhere.
Yeah,
in Michigan, like you walk out this door, they're everywhere.
I saw some like at my school today. Yeah, they're really cute. I like them.
I've got some in my yard right now.
Nice.
They're mildly toxic though, so if you are going to make a bouquet of them, make sure they're the only ones in that bouquet. Otherwise, they'll poison your other flowers and they'll die quicker, which isn't fun. But they're still pretty.
Do you have anything else?
Not today.
Okay. Well.
Turn it over to the interview. Have fun, guys.
Yippee.
Yippee. And don't forget, Pride Prom happening May 10th here at Neutral Zone. And if you really want to, there's a lock-in happening afterwards, which is like a sleepover here at Neutral Zone. If you want to be a part of that, you need to fill out a permission slip and turn it in the week before. Have fun with the interview.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Keats. What's your name?
I'm Britt.
Nice to meet you for the first time ever.
For the first time ever. Yes, we've never met before.
No. So do you want to just chat or hop into the questions real quick?
Yeah. Do I need to say anything about myself before
You
we
can,
start?
yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm Britt. I work at the Neutral Zone. I'm a program coordinator here. I oversee workforce development in college and career, so future core. I won't sing the song. That's adult Nick's thing. And I help with poetry, and then whatever else I am tasked with throughout the day.
Nice.
So yeah. So there are questions.
There are questions.
Okay, let's go for it.
So number 1 is, what was your experience as a queer teen in the South?
Yeah. So a couple things. So I actually went to high school here. So I was really a teen here.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop me from having like very Southern conservative parents and living on like the border of Livingston County, which is essentially the Deep South. If you know, you know. It was dark because I was in the closet. So I didn't come out until my 20s, realistically. Did I always know? Yeah, 100%. But we were really scared and we just didn't. So I did a lot of theater, which I feel like is a very queer teen thing to do.
Yeah.
Even if you were in the closet. But it was a lot of like looking up girls kissing on YouTube and having a lot of like really scary female friendships that to this day probably traumatized me more than my actual romantic relationships.
Yeah.
And being like very, very jealous of like one of my best friends who was out like with a girlfriend at the time. And just like being very confused at why she didn't tell me. And now she'd be like, well, it's because I knew that you were gay too. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. So it's a weird experience because it's very different than all of the teens that I work with currently, right? Like, I think we're really lucky here that we don't get to have a lot of closeted teens. Like, you guys are very out and proud, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes makes it harder for us to relate to because a lot of us elder queers in the space didn't kind of have the same experience. And I think vice versa, it makes you guys not understand us a little bit more because we didn't have the same experience. I wish in a different world that I could have been an out and loud, like 16-year-old and found really good like queer enclaves that I don't think even existed in my town. But I didn't get to have that. But I get to facilitate that here. So I think that is like me healing my very angry inner teenager. we talk a lot, me and 16-year-old Britt.
Yes. I can imagine that, like, I have some family members that are very conservative. I was adopted into a half white, half Indian family. And if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Both like very conservative, individual, like families and religions.
Yeah.
And places. And like when I was living in California, there were parts of it that were like very conservative, but most of it was like pretty liberal. And when my parents told me that we were gonna move here, I was like, oh, I don't know about that because last time I was here, I got called slurs. And even like family members have called me slurs before, which is like pretty awful. And I just think that like it's taken most of them a very long time to like accept me. And they'll say that like they have always accepted me.
Yeah.
And that like they would never say those things that they definitely said. And that it never happened because they don't remember it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but you're also like 50 years old.
Yeah, it's weird. The slur thing is so funny because I have like such a clear memory of being in freshman gym class, and there was this girl who I went to middle school with who also went to my high school who I couldn't stand and like would actively call me like the D slur.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's literally impossible. Like I have no idea what you're talking about. And now I'm like, oh, dang, Lindsay, what did you know that I didn't know? And I think it just became something that's so normal because my family would also, like, sometimes just, like, drop that and be like, oh, you guys know nothing. Like, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And now they do it and they think it's, like, funny. And I'm like, you all actually still can't say that.
Yeah.
And, like, I've been out to my family, like, out for a while now. And it's still, like, very, very hard for them to, like, realize it. And it's interesting, not even, like, my direct family, but, like, my mom's friends will be like, oh, have you found, like, are you dating anyone? I'm like, no. And they'll be like, oh, always have to find you the right guy. And I'm like, hey, MJ, like, I'm a lesbian. And she'll just be like, oh, I knew that. And I'm like, Mom, like, it's also, like, on you to, like, correct your friends about these things. And, like, to just do better as a whole. If, like, you're actually going to support me, you have to support me in every space, whether I'm present there or not.
Yeah.
But it is, like, very weird to, like, know something and have others know, and for you to just be like, nope, there's no way there.
Yeah.
There's no way at all.
Well, it's also, like, frustrating. I am sure that you can also relate. When people who take, like, you know, or, like, a long time to accept you, call you the right name, the right pronouns, like, really accept your sexuality, and they call themselves, like, liberals, and it's like, oh, bestie, like, yes, but also you're, like, the, like, older generation of liberals where, like, it's like, it's different now. Like, being a liberal is a lot different than it meant, like, you know, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, there are certain phrases that you can't say to people anymore.
Yeah. Or realistically, that you probably never should have said to anyone. It's just, like, it is weird to watch this, like, really rise. I mean, it's fascism, right? Like, we can have this, like, conversation. But this, like, people are being like, oh, it's okay to, like, say these things now. And I'm like, I did not spend all of high school and undergrad, like, correcting people saying, like, the R slur for you to just, like, casually say it in conversation. Yeah. And I'm just like, what, like, truth, like, what is the point? Like, there are so many other insults that you can call people. Like, why are we picking this one?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like, the idea of, like, liberalism has changed so much in the past 8 years, right? And then to see, like, your generation, like, be so out and comfortable, but then to have this, like, such a clear swing away from, like, what was, like, when I was even 16. It's crazy to see how do we mesh these two worlds together and keep these kids safe. Yeah. And I think that's where we at the Neutral Zone, and, like, me, just, like, as a leader in this community, right, are kind of operating in that space. Is like, how do we manage all these things and keep these kids safe? And it is, I don't know, it's strange. And I haven't figured it out yet. I guess I did figure it out. I could probably solve the rest of America's problems, but it is weird that like some places, like not even places, but like spaces are so accepting and so inclusive. And then like as a country, we have just like backpedaled so much. Like, how are we going to manage that as it just continues to grow and grow and grow?
Yeah. It's going to be really hard for our hopefully next president to take America and bring back our economy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I feel like once the economy is slightly better, people might be like less inclined to just like strip people of their rights. I don't know. Those things are somehow so closely intertwined, and I will just like literally never understand.
Yeah. Our next question is, it's National Poetry Month.
Yes.
And as a poet,
yes, would
you like to share a few of your poems?
Oh, a few of my poems? Oh, no. I read this wrong as I was going to share, like, a favorite poem. I could maybe share one of my own poems. Let me...
Oh, I did read it wrong.
Okay. Okay.
It's one of your favorite poems, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have a couple of a few I'll share, but I'll share this one. And if we have time, I might share another one. Kind of just like building off the conversation that we were having as like the idea of like gay and trans people like losing so many rights, and so much of it is tied to like this rise of like white Christian nationalism that we are facing, and how we love to use Jesus and religion as an excuse to get rid of these rights and invalidate people's rights, right? And also it's also Easter weekend as we are taping this, so I love this poem. I share it a lot, honestly. So it's Jesus at the Gay Bar.
Ooh.
Right? It's such a good title. He's there in the midst of it, right at the center of the dance floor, robes hitched up to his knees to make it easy to spin. At some point in the evening, a boy will touch the hem of his rose and beg to be healed, beg to be anything other than this. And he will reach his arms out, sweat damp and weary from dance. He'll cup the boy's face in his hand and say, "My beautiful child, there is nothing in this heart of yours that ever needs to be healed." And I think, yeah, it's a doozy. It's a doozy, and it's short, and it's like so clear, but like, I'm actually shocked that like I read it and like didn't. Oh, I a little teared up. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been reading that poem for so long, and I think it speaks so like broadly and easily to like the queer experience, because like how many times have we like just like wished to be different and like wished to be healed because of like expectations that others have really put on us. So that one felt right to share for this conversation in this time of year.
Yeah, and like that was like, because so many people are always like, well, the Bible says this, verse this, and it's like, okay, but like that's not really the point.
Right. Yeah, I think that's like the one thing that like I'll never get is just like you hold everyone into like your own expectations and morality when like you don't just like have to.
Yeah.
There's so many other different beliefs and morals that people hold. Like I will often talk about how like the God that I pray to is like exclusively like 1989 Cher, like the Turn Back Time video, right? And like again, I'm gay. Like I think that's such an easy thing to do, but like why does like your sense of morality have to extend to me in like literally like the silliest way? Like nothing I do truly affects, as much as the Leo and me wish it did, nothing that I actually do really affects your life that much.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, love thy neighbor.
Yeah.
Why are we making exceptions now? The point is to love thy neighbor regardless.
Yeah.
And if you're loving thy neighbor with regards, I think that that's against Christianity.
Yeah, I grew up like decently religious. Like again, my family is like very Southern. Like my grandma was raised super Catholic, but like we weren't. And that was just like something that reading gospel and going to church, like I never like realized it until I think I like truly like had like a very hard clue that like I was gay, and I was like, oh, like this is actually like super wrong. I have to like repress this for like ever, right?
Yeah.
And then we kind of just like stopped going to church, and then it just like became slightly easier, and I was repressing it more for like just like general standards. Like I didn't have any like gay role models in my life. Like this was pre RuPaul's Drag Race, right? Like gay in the mainstream, it was still like very much not explained, and not seen in media and stuff like that. And it gets weird, and it got really weird, and it's weird now to think that like so many people are just trying to like use this as a way to invalidate everybody. Pick something else. Pick something better. I don't know.
like it's so overused. Be different.
Be better.
Be better.
As I always say. Yeah. Although I think that was like a Melania Trump thing. I think it was like the Be Better campaign, and I think I actually picked it up from that, but like in a ironic way.
Yeah. Is that your poem?
That's the poem. If we have time, maybe I'll share. I have
Yeah.
another one that I might share.
That was like really heartfelt and touching.
Yeah, and it has a Bible passage in it too, so it's not like it's just that little. And if you were looking at the poem, the little end is italicized because it's a passage. I don't remember which one it's from, but it is a Bible passage, and it's a nice. It paints such a lovely image, that I think is really great.
Yeah. Our next question.
Yes.
Is what was higher education like for you as a biracial queer woman?
Yeah. Oh gosh. It was weird. It was really weird. So when I was an undergrad, I was in a sorority, which sounds kind of weird to say. My friends will often joke that I am like in 3 like very weird classes of human being, which is I was a theater kid, I was in a sorority, and I was a camp counselor, which should make me like the most annoying human being in the entire world. But like something happened, and I'm actually really cool. From others, that's just not me calling myself cool. I mean, I think I'm cool, but anyway, it was weird. So I went to like a small state school in Michigan for undergrad, and especially there, I was a commuter. I didn't live on campus. I lived at home. I was definitely looking for friends. And I just like happened to like be walking around in like our student union one day during recruitment, and I was like, okay, let's do this, let's try it. And I joined and I loved it, right? Now that being said, I was I think one of 3 or 4 Black people in that sorority at the time. Now, it wasn't a super diverse campus to begin with, but still, because there are 2 different types of sororities, right? So there are the National Panhellenic, which are the historically white sororities. So that's what you see on like Bama Rush Talk, at like big Southern schools. That is the type of sorority that I was in. And then there are historically Black fraternities and sororities, like the Divine Nine, that my school also had. I didn't know about that. I also think a weird thing with race that we can get into, but that's a whole other thing. But it was very, very interesting that I co-opted almost immediately like this very stereotypical sorority girl. Like I wore a lot of bows. I wore a lot of pearls. I once maybe wore a tank top that said Reagan Bush 1984. It was 2014. It was a very different time, okay? And I think it was weird because I was like I have an undergrad degree in history, and I was doing a lot of work in like that era and like Cold War and like learning kind of how America got to where it was, while also kind of co-opting these like really scary conservative ideas. I was hanging out with a lot of frat boys. And like very much like I knew that was like my proximity to whiteness was really important for me to like be accepted in this community. And I did essentially whatever I could and to like stay in that, right? I had found friends. I was really happy at the time. I had some really great leadership skills that I was doing. And like I was having a really good time. Then I remember being like, wait, I think I should be doing this. I had like weirdly co-opted this like trad wife personality. I cooked a lot. I like people would call me like a real housewife, and I'm like, I'm like, you are hot. You are gay. What are you doing? Which is also super weird because, like, and I'll talk about this a lot, just like in conversation, that like sororities at smaller schools are like straight up queer enclaves. Like so many gay people, so many gay women in this, and like it was this weird thing where we all kind of held. And again, this is like a pre-Trump world. Like we really have to like reinforce that. We all kind of held these like really weird conservative values, but like also we're all kind of gay. It was a very strange time. Just like in America and at this place. I learned so much and I did so much, and I'm still very, very close to lots of my sorority sisters. I see them all the time. Even like if they were like in a different chapter or like in a fraternity, like I'm going to see my like fraternity friends in Chicago in like a week.
Yeah.
One of them is a drag queen. Like,
We love
right? Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So like, I think that we kind of held on to this idea of what we really, really needed to be based on like the culture at the time, especially just like Greek culture in general, but then also had like this weird own subculture within it that we all were very alt. Like it's a very weird thing that it's been like 10 years. I'm still like, what were we even doing? Like truthfully. And it's so funny now because I joke about it a lot that like every 6 months or so, someone from my sorority from like when we were in it comes out as queer. And I just like, I will like screenshot it immediately. Like if it's like on Twitter, we're also on Twitter because we're millennials, right?
Yeah.
Or Instagram or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, clocked. And I'm just like, this is hilarious. And like even most of my guy friends from fraternities are queer. And it's just like so funny. And I mean, I guess it makes sense that like we surrounded ourselves with like women for just like 4 years straight.
Yeah.
And that was it. But yeah. Anyway, okay, so that was a rant. More about that. It is crazy to exist in white spaces, growing up in predominantly white spaces, where you view yourself maybe as white, and then like the others are like, no, like you are black, right? And that is a really, really hard thing to navigate. I know that you know, right? Like we have very similar experiences with that. And like it takes so much to break down those ideas that you are white, right? And like maybe your family views you like that, maybe your friends view you like that, but like the general population and like honestly the federal government will never view you like that. So like you do have to do that work to also not view yourself as that.
Yeah.
Right? Like very clearly I am not a white woman.
Yes.
Like very, very clearly. And like that's like that was like a really hard thing to like come to terms with, that people would never view me like that as much as I maybe wanted them to. And like, how do I reclaim this identity that was essentially stolen from me in like a very honest way? And to be honest, I'm still very much like on that path, right?
Yeah.
Like there will be things that people mention that like that I should know as like a black woman from the 90s. And I'll be like, I don't know these things. Like, like I wasn't involved. Like I wasn't even like really allowed to have access to black culture in my household. I will talk oftenly about how I couldn't have black Barbie dolls growing up because my mom just didn't want to have to deal with it and like answer questions and explain things. And that's like really, really hard to come to terms with and like forgive her for as well.
Yeah.
But it is hard. It got easier in grad school, that I'll say. Our program director was a black woman who was like amazing and like unapologetically like a black woman, and I loved her, and I think she really helped me kind of find that voice inside of me. That we would call like an angry black woman, right? And like allowed that anger to be talked about and expressed in a very, very healthy way. So shout out Erica Dawson, who is a great poet. Is actually currently making a comeback, which is really exciting because she took a sabbatical for a couple of years. But she's great, and I can't thank her enough for that one.
Yeah.
So the broad answer to your question is weird. It's really weird. It's really weird for everyone, right? It's just a strange time, strange place.
And college is like already weird.
College is so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. Our next question is any advice you'd like to give or offer to other teens these days?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as we are getting to this very, very scary point in this country, it is very, very hard to take yourself out of the equation because you're worried about yours, but you have to care about others.
Yeah.
Like you have to start building community and a sense of community. You kind of sometimes have to put yourself on the back burner and care about others' issues, right? That is very much how we got here, right? There's this idea in America about individualism and exceptionalism that, like, if it does not happen to me, it does not matter. I do not care about it. And that is how we got here, like, very easily. they're like, well, I don't have, autistic kids, right? And like what their news that came out yesterday, very scary. Or I don't have queer kids. I don't have trans kids. This does not apply to me, so I do not care about it. And like, well, like therapy lingo, like you don't owe anybody anything. You owe everyone everything. Because you are functioning in the society, in this community, and like you owe it to others to care about them and to care about their issues, even if they don't apply to you. Yeah. And that can be like super small on like a micro level. That can be really, really huge on a macro level. But like you have to care about others, even when it's hard, and probably especially when it's hard. Yeah. That's
even
it.
more when it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't care, then these people's lives are actively in danger. Yeah. And like, would you as like a 16, 15, 14, 13-year-old want to go through that? I don't think so. Right. I don't think that that like you as an adult have a right to, or like teens also have a right to say that like it's like I don't agree with that, so I don't care about it. Yeah. Or even worse, I don't agree with that, so let's make it worse for them. Yeah. And also vice versa. Yeah. You like me as a queer person, as a queer trans man who's not white. I have made friends ish with some fairly conservative people because I think that like education is very important. I can understand their views, they can understand mine. We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree. We can support, and if one of us is like saying something that's like not appropriate, we can be like, hey, dude, don't say that. You like, these are people, and just because you don't agree with what they believe, they still deserve good things.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more jaded, I feel like, than that. Because I do feel at this point, as we are actively seeing what is happening to, and like specifically the youth, right? Like my generation, cool. Like we can handle ourselves. Like you guys do not have advocates for you, right? Like I am at this point that like if you don't accept or affirm queer and trans youth, like we actually have nothing in common. Yeah. I cannot educate you. I honestly don't respect you. Yeah. Please do do better, be better. I do think that there is space to educate people in that situation, but I don't feel like it has to always come from the affected group. Yeah. And I think that's really important because my friends will still text me and be like, hey, I think I might have said like the N-word in college. Like, do I apologize for that? And I'm like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And we just can't take on that burden fully. And also I think at this point, if people are leaning more conservative alt-right, like that's it. Like I don't think they're at help anymore. Yeah. Because you are clearly making a choice when you know the consequences. Yeah. I think it was different 10 years ago. At this point, I don't know if we can save them.
Yeah. Like the people who I'm acquaintances with, they have some like conservative views, as in like they don't like certain groups of queer people. Like they will be like, I don't like furries, or I don't like lesbians or something. I'm trying to give up like examples of like what I've like overheard. Yeah. And like when people call them out, because they're like what, like 15, when people like call them out, they're like, oh, like I'm sorry. And then you can like educate them because they're again 15, and are taking most of their opinions from either conservative men online, Andrew Tate, those,
we have to stop
kinds
letting
of guys.
Cis men have access to podcasting equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting out. Oh no.
Oh no, running out of time.
Got a little too deep. Yeah, running out of time. Okay.
Yeah. but you can like be like educate them because they're young, they're getting it from other people, like their parents and stuff, and they've become very good humans.
Yeah.
They've been like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I guess like a 15, there's room for change for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Not so much a 35-year-old.
No.
Okay. What is our next bit?
We have a fun part now.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. We have you evers.
Okay, let's go.
Have you ever stolen something from an adult?
Just the Declaration of Independence.
Really?
Yeah. We have beef. Me and the Declaration of Independence have beef.
Okay. Have you ever baked an apple pie?
Probably. Not that I can like remember distinctly. I really like to cook. Baking, not so much because it requires too much science and math, and that's just not where I operate in this world.
That's valid. Have you ever been in a musical?
Yeah. I was a theater kid. I've been in Les Mis 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
I just helped out backstage in a musical. Made my grand entrée back into the theater. So crazy.
Have you ever got stuck in a line for over an hour?
I'm sure does waiting for like pit access at a concert count? Then yeah, absolutely. I also just had to go to the post office like a week ago and was in line for 40 minutes, and
I think I would lose my mind.
I was like surprisingly calm, which is actually probably kind of scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was understanding.
Yeah. The last time I was stuck in a line, the reward was free ice cream, so I wasn't too bad. So I wasn't like too upset about that.
Okay.
Then we have our last little segment here.
Okay.
It is this or that.
Okay. This
or that, shake or smoothie?
Smoothie, 100%. I'm not a huge ice cream person.
Okay. I'm judging you right now.
I
know. This or that, smash burger or regular burger?
Chicken sandwich.
Okay. I am I'm judging.
I mean, I like a burger, but I'm always gonna go for a chicken sandwich.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I recently started to like eat more like burgers. I've been like, well, like what I don't like is when like beef starts tasting like beef.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a very controversial one that will probably get 2 fan bases head to head. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Oh.
I will judge you.
This is like the most millennial question, and I feel like it should be like Chapel or Charlie or something. It does unfortunately have to be Rihanna. Okay. I'm so sorry. I do love Beyonce, like with all of my heart, but I have always just been the bigger Rihanna fan.
I agree.
Okay.
I do, yeah.
I also love a Fenty lip gloss.
Yes. This or that, sour or sweet?
Like candy?
Yeah.
Sour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love a Sour Patch watermelon.
Oh.
It's the best candy. Yeah. It's the best candy.
I really can't argue with that. I know what this is gonna be. Movie or book? Like movie or like the book version of the movie?
This is hard because there are so many book to movie adaptations that I truly, truly enjoy. But there are some really, really bad ones.
Shout out J.K. Rowling. That's one that's really bad.
No, we're not gonna shout her out at all. Oh gosh. It's a 50-50 split. It just depends on what it is. Because like there are some like that are really good, like obviously, like the Hunger Games series are very, very good. But there was this book I loved called Beautiful Creatures, and the book is so good, and the movie is just so terrible. Yeah. It's a 50-50 split. I can't choose. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's
fair. I thought you were going to choose book.
I mean, I love books, but like even like one of my favorite movies is like the 2005 like Pride and Prejudice. Like
I was gonna say Pride and Prejudice book or movie. I know you're lesbian. Which one is it?
Oh gosh, it's exclusively the 2005 version, which is I know is like very, like some people really love the BBC version. It is the 2005. I was 12 when I saw it. Maybe I was 13. It did.
Is that the one with Keira?
That is the one with Keira Knightley.
I love
Keira Knightley. Yeah.
She's so pretty.
I watch it probably more than a human being should watch it still to this day. It just really elevated what that book was. And then like the 20th anniversary is like literally this weekend and I'm so excited. I have to go see it and I have to like go see it in theaters.
Okay. I have to bring all my friends and be like, we had to see this.
Yeah, just like the hand flexed is forever.
I was gonna ask you, like, as a lesbian, how do you feel about the hand?
I want it tattooed so bad. So bad. It's been like a dream tattoo, honestly, for years. And like I also know so much about that. Like I've watched every interview about that movie. Like the hand flex was completely unintentional. Like he just did it and they just like happened to catch it on film. And I'm like, wow, nothing has truly shaped me more. Also, the soundtrack is so good. I have it on vinyl.
I wanted to get it on vinyl so bad, but they were all out.
I bought it sad on my birthday one year, and so I've had it for a pretty long time. And now you like, I guess you can't get it, but they're like re-releasing it.
I have to get it.
Yeah, I'm like going hopefully to Ireland and Scotland in the fall, and I'm like how many days I need to swing so I can like go to the Pride and Prejudice tour. And but yeah, obviously Pride and Prejudice for life.
Yeah.
Who would I be? Who would I be if I'd not watched that movie at such a formidable age?
Yeah. I feel like that movie and Princess Bride really shaped me as a person.
Yeah.
Those were like those were like my like tween obsession movies, like tween teen obsession movies where I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, mine, Pride and Prejudice, the Phantom of the Opera movie, which I watched every day after school in 7th grade. And then 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things.
Truly
that
is what
really
shaped
me too.
Shaped me as a human. And it's very clear.
Yeah.
Like, if you know me in the slightest, like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah. So, book or both?
Yay!
Both. That's the answer. It's not 50-50, it's just both. Read and watch.
Yes.
Okay. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
And don't forget, Pride Prom happening May 10th here at Neutral Zone. And if you really want to, there's a lock-in happening afterwards, which is like a sleepover here at Neutral Zone. If you want to be a part of that, you need to fill out a permission slip and turn it in the week before.